Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are uncovering one of the absolute greatest financial secrets in the world. Seriously, it's a concept that feels almost like pure magic, but it is actually just straight-up math. We're talking about the alchemy of time and exploring exactly why starting your investments early literally beats investing way more money later on. Let's kick things off by posing a bit of a rigged math riddle for you. Imagine we give two people the exact same goal: become a millionaire before retirement. Now, if one person invests just a little bit of money really early on, and the other person waits but invests huge money later, who actually wins the race to $1 million? Who comes out on top? Well, most of us would naturally assume it's the one putting in the bigger dollar amounts, right? I mean, they're bringing way more cash to the table. But as we're going to see, the answer will probably surprise you. Meet our two investors, Maya and Ethan. They're childhood friends, both dreaming of financial freedom, and both actually end up earning very similar salaries. But their habits are completely different. Take Maya. She starts at age 22, skips a few luxury purchases, brews her coffee at home, and just keeps things super simple. She invests just $200 every single month. Ethan, on the other hand, has a totally different philosophy. He thinks, you know what, I'll start investing when I earn more. So he waits until he's 35, but then he begins injecting massive capital, investing $500 every month. He is investing more than twice as much as Maya. But here is the absolute crazy part. Maya will likely end up with more money. And it's not because she invested more total cash, and it's not because she had a higher salary. Part 1. The surprising math of wealth, planting the tiny tree. See, as Maya keeps investing and Ethan keeps postponing, neither of them realizes that time is quietly deciding their entire future. Think of it kind of like planting a tiny oak tree. On the very first day you plant it, it's barely taller than your hand, right? Early investments absolutely do not grow overnight. But give it years, it becomes massive. It gets strong enough to survive severe storms. It provides tons of shade and produces thousands of acorns. No one looks at a giant tree and thinks, wow, that became enormous overnight. We all inherently understand it simply had more time to grow. Well, wealth follows the exact same law of nature. The earlier you plant it, the larger it becomes. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 2, the magic of compounding. So how are the underlying mechanics of Maya's wealth actually working? Let's break it down. Imagine every single dollar you invest is a dedicated tiny employee. In step 1, that dollar works for you all year long. Then in step 2, at the end of the year, it yields a return. It basically recruits new money. But the real magic hits in step 3. Those returns start working too. They effectively hire themselves out. So by next year, both your initial capital and your new returns are out there working. Very quickly, your capital is self-replicating. You aren't just investing your own money anymore. Your money is literally investing for you. That incredible process we just walked through brings us to a crucial definition: compound growth. It's a powerful financial force where the returns on your investments begin generating their own returns over time. Make no mistake, this is absolutely one of the most powerful forces in all of finance. It's the whole engine driving Maya's wealth. Moving right along to part 3, time beats money every time. So fast forward to age 35. This is the exact moment Ethan finally decides to start his investing journey. Now, Maya has been consistently putting in her $200 a month since she was 22, so she's already built a really meaningful portfolio. Ethan finally jumps in with a whopping $500 a month. He's putting in way more cash now, so surely he's going to catch up, right? Actually, no. And it all comes down to this massive, absolutely critical number: 13 extra years. Maya has something Ethan can never ever buy: 13 unpurchasable years of compound growth. Those early years are continuing to produce returns for Maya, even while Ethan is contributing way more raw money out of his own pocket. It just goes to show time beats size. You can really think of it as a domino effect. Picture one single domino falling, which knocks over another, and then another, until literally hundreds are falling all at once. That first push was incredibly tiny, but the final result is enormous. Maya's earliest $200 contributions actually became her most valuable dollars, not because they were huge amounts, but simply because they had the longest time to grow. Every single contribution created another opportunity for growth, sparking a chain reaction that Ethan just cannot replicate. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide, part 4, the real numbers. Let's look at the undeniable mathematical reality behind their choices. We've got Maya starting at 22, doing $200 a month, and Ethan starting at 35, doing $500 a month. Let's assume a standard long-term average annual return of around 10% for both of them. Because Maya started 13 years earlier, her portfolio just keeps compounding year after year at that 10% rate. To even get close to catching Maya, Ethan doesn't just need to invest a little bit more each month. He has to invest dramatically more just to make up for all that lost time. When you see it visually, it's such a massive aha moment. If you look at Maya's side of things, her actual cash contributions are relatively small, but she has this massive block of 13-year compound growth sitting on top. Compare that to Ethan. His raw out-of-pocket cash contributions are huge, but his growth period is so incredibly short. It proves mathematically that the missing ingredient for Ethan isn't money, it's time. And unlike money, time cannot be earned back once it's gone. If you're just starting out and it feels like you're not making any progress, remember the bicycle analogy. Imagine riding a bike up a super steep hill, maybe right after you skipped leg day. The absolute hardest part is just getting it moving. Every single push on the pedal feels heavy and brutally slow. But once those wheels begin spinning, they carry their own momentum. Wealth works exactly the same way. Your first few years of investing feel slow, but then the momentum kicks in. Eventually, your investments begin growing much faster than your monthly contributions, and that is the exact moment when compounding completely takes over. Part 5. Small habits, massive results. Success rarely begins with perfect conditions. It almost always begins with behavior. I'm sure we've all heard of that famous marshmallow test with kids, right? You offer a child one marshmallow right now, or two if they simply wait. One child eats it immediately, the other patiently waits. Well, investing is literally just the adult version of that exact experiment. Eating the marshmallow right now represents immediate spending. Waiting for 2 marshmallows, that's patient investing. Every dollar you choose not to spend today has the chance to become several dollars tomorrow. It's exactly this kind of patience that turns ordinary income into totally extraordinary wealth. And that patience pairs perfectly with consistent, really actionable habits. Things like making small monthly investments, reading just one finance book, learning a single new skill, or avoiding unnecessary debt. Individually, these actions might seem completely insignificant. You might think, hey, skipping one luxury purchase or brewing my coffee at home isn't going to move the needle at all. But together, over time, they will absolutely completely change your life. Which brings us to our final section, Part 6, the hidden cost of waiting. I want to be super direct with you all for a second about a mental trap that catches almost everybody. I'll start investing when I have more money. We hear this all the time, right? But guys, this is the single biggest mistake people make. They think they're just waiting for the right salary. But saying you'll invest when you have more money is exactly like saying, I'll start exercising when I'm already fit. It just doesn't work that way. Success begins way before the conditions are perfect. Because here's the really tragic reality. While you wait for that perfect salary, you are giving away the one thing you can absolutely never recover. Look, money can be replaced, jobs can change, businesses fail, and then they recover. But every single year you delay investing is one less year your money has to compound. That is a year of compounding you can never, ever get back. And that is the true hidden cost of waiting. So that leaves us with this final, really crucial question to think about. How much future wealth are you giving up by waiting? The greatest advantage in investing isn't finding the perfect stock, predicting the market, or earning the highest salary. It's simply starting early, even if the amount feels remarkably small at first. Every giant tree began as a tiny seed, and every fortune started with one single decision. The question isn't whether you have enough money to start right now, it's how much you lose by delaying. So don't wait for the perfect time, because today is already the perfect day to begin. If you found this explainer helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might still be waiting for their perfect time to invest. Thanks so much for joining me.